over the last like 2 days. So a couple days ago, I had just woken up. It was very, very late in the, I guess you could say evening. I don't know. It was like 6 or 7 p.m., right? It was late. My sleep schedule's been
Yo,
terrible
granted, you busy, bruh?
but I woke up and I started my day very slowly. The first hour of my day, I was like in bed, just scrolling my phone, watching TikTok, just rotting my brain. Took a shower, got ready for my. And I went on my computer. I was finishing up some final touches on an edit, just like trying to be productive, right? And while I'm on my computer, I get a DM on Twitter. I looked over at my second monitor, that's where I usually keep like my DMs and stuff for Discord and Twitter, and I see that someone DM me. And I look, and it's a friend that I had back in high school who I've not talked to in years. Like, my last conversation I had with him was
Alright,
when I
chat.
was
Let's get
still
it.
in high school with him. It had been a very long time. I was definitely very surprised to see that he DM'd me. And you're probably wondering, Austin, what the DM say? It just said, yo. So I thought, okay, he's just checking in. So I replied, and I was like, what's up, man? How you been? And he goes, good. I gotta talk to you. What's your new number? And I can't lie. I'm kind of nervous to hear. Because, like, I haven't talked to this dude in a while, and, like, right off the bat, he's asking me for my number, and he's gonna talk to me. It sounded serious. So I just replied, and I said, what about? And he said, I really don't want to explain it all through DM. Phone call or FaceTime would be a lot easier.
Shit. Nigga, get your dumb ass up. I went for one dunk. Oh my god. Get your stupid ass up, bro. If you even want to touch the ball. Come on, bro. Move around, you dumb fuck. Niggas is ass. He not gonna play defense because he fucking sucks.
And I probably look the exact same to him, probably way different. And he was like, yo, dude, like, how's that been?
That shit out of here, nigga.
Good, good. He's like, dude, I got the craziest story to tell you. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, dude. I was like, what is it, man? He's like, well, first of all, before I get into it, how you been? I was like, good, dude, good. Just doing the YouTube shit, like, you know, making videos, doing some music stuff now. You know, pretty much the same stuff I've always been into since high school. He's like, yeah, dude, actually, that's kind of what I'm calling you about today. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, it's about your videos recently. And I was like, okay, which one? He's like, that one that you uploaded, like, not so long ago. It's called Nope. And I was like, yeah, man, that's the one about Jeremy. He's like, yeah, dude, that one. So, I ran into him the other day. And, like, he knows about that video. Now, when he said this, a lot of things went through my head. The first thing being, how the fuck does he know about my channel all these years later? Like, honestly, some people in my school knew about my channel.
My bad, bro. I should not have taken it. Get your dumb ass up, nigga. You know my body, bro. I literally dunked on you last fucking game.
My channel years after I was out of high school and, like, keeping up with my current videos. Like, that was crazy to me. I couldn't believe that. My second thought was like, yo, where the hell did my friend run into this guy? And, like, how did they get on the topic of me? So I asked him exactly that. I was like, yo, like, where'd you see him at? Like, how did I come up? And he starts laughing. He starts laughing. He, like, can't control himself. He's actually laughing pretty hard. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, yo, what the hell did I say that was so funny? And I'm like, dude, like, did I say something? And he's like, no. Like, you just laughed really hard when I tell you what I saw him at. And I'm like, oh, man, what does that mean? He's like, I saw him at the comic store. Now, where I live in my city, there's a huge comic book store, but they also sell a bunch of other stuff too, like action figures and like Magic the Gathering cards and like anime-related stuff, like DVDs and comics and pretty much anything vintage and new and nerd culture is at this store. It's just a store for everything nerdy, and there's some cool shit there. I've been there a bunch of times, and like there is some cool shit. But when my friend told me that he saw him there,
Oh god damn!
Store, I immediately understood why my friend was laughing. I was like, dude, please don't tell me Jeremy was in the anime section when you saw him. And my friend just starts laughing even harder. And he's like, dude, it's worse. I'm like, what do you mean it's worse? He goes, dude, he was in the anime adult manga section. And immediately I'm like, what? So at the store, I didn't know they had this, by the way. Apparently in the back, like the back left of the store, where they keep all like the manga and the anime stuff. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's manga. But in the back of the store, they have an adult manga section, aka rhymes with senpai. It rhymes with that. Section. They have a section for that stuff. I didn't know it existed. But apparently Jeremy was there. And this just made me think like, yo, I'm living in a fucking simulation. There's no way that a dude from a story time that I told, you know, a couple weeks ago about a situation from years ago hasn't changed a bit, right? Anyway, after my friend tells me that he sees him there, I was like, you know, laughing for a good minute. And after that, I was like, all right, dude, like, so what happened when you approached him? He's like, oh, I didn't actually approach him. He approached me. I was in a section like 4 aisles down, and he saw me, and he approached me, and he was like, oh, like, good to see you, man. And I was like, oh, Jeremy, like, what's up? And Austin, bro, like, immediately he brought you up. He's like, you see Austin's video a couple weeks ago about me? And I was like, no, I didn't, because, no offense to you, I don't like the channel that much. Like, I'm not stalking you like he was, apparently. And I was like, it's all good, man. I'm not offended. He's like, yeah, but anyway, he brought up your video, and then he pulled it up on his phone in front of me and made me watch, like, 5 minutes of it with him. And I was like, oh my, what? Like, really? He's like, yeah, dude. He showed me this, like, 5-minute part where you were talking about how, like, you had to go and, like, request a new partner on the school project because he kept talking about stuff that made you uncomfortable. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much the story. And he's like, yeah, dude. And he showed me this, like, I was on his side. Like, I wasn't like you because of it or something. But in reality, I totally understood because I remember being in school back in the day and how weird he could get. And I was like, thank you, dude. Like, I'm not alone on this. He's like, yeah, man, of course. And I was like, alright, so what happened after that? Like, after he showed you the video, like, what'd he say? And my friend's like, honestly, man, not a whole lot. I kind of wanted him to just, like, go away and, like, fuck off. So I told him that I agreed with him. I said something along the lines of, like, yeah, man, like, Austin shouldn't have made that video. Like, that was lame. Something like that. Because I wanted him to leave. And after, like, a couple minutes, he finally did fuck off. But, like, I knew I had to tell you soon. So here I am telling you. And I was like, yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for the heads up. I'll definitely be on the lookout for him. Hopefully I don't run into him in public. And he's like, yeah, man, I hope you don't see him either. And after this, me and him talked on the phone for like 10 minutes, just catching up about other stuff, like kind of just seeing what we've been up to and stuff like that. And we made plans to hang out in like 2 weeks, so I'll be seeing him soon, which is cool. But the story doesn't end there. I wish I could say that's where the story ends, but it gets so much better, okay? So after me and him get off FaceTime, right? The next day rolls around. Once again, I woke up pretty late in the day, pretty much evening time, got ready, got showered. Now I actually had plans within like an hour to go and see my friend. It was his birthday, we were having a little birthday party at his house. So I got ready very quick, and I was on my way to my friend's house. I got there. It was a very small birthday party. It wasn't even a party, honestly. It was like me, my friend, and like 3 other people. It was a very, very small get-together. He just wanted like all of his close friends there. And we're just hanging out, right, for like the first 20 minutes. Now this friend of mine, the one whose birthday it was, he went to my high school as well, and he knew about Jeremy. So like 20 minutes into the party, I had to bring it up. I was like, yo, you're never gonna guess what happened. And my friend's like, what's up? And I was like, I made a video about Jeremy, right, like that quiet kid from my school back in the day that was like obsessed with anime and shit. He's like, yeah, I remember that, the dude that tried to fight you over it. I was like, yeah, I made a video about him, right? And he saw the video. And this other dude from our high school ran into him yesterday, and like he's mad at me about the video. And guess where he was? My friend's like, well, where was he? And I was like, he was at the comic book store looking at anime adult stuff. And my friend's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? And I was like, no. And then this other dude chimes in the room. He's like, wait, what store was he at? And I was like, why do you want to know? And he's like, you said comic book store? I love comics. I'm like, yeah, there's a store. It's literally called the comic book store. It's straight up like a mile or 2 from here. And this dude's like, yo, like, can we go? And I was like, fuck we all. And everyone wants to go to the comic book store, right? So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I guess we're going to the comic book store now. So we all left my friend's house, we got in my homie's car, piled into his SUV, and we drove to the comic book store because this dude at the party really wanted to check it out. Because I guess he really was into nerd stuff. I honestly think he just wanted to see if they were actually selling anime-related content, you know? Because he didn't show any interest in the comic book store until I mentioned that part about it. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we pull up to the comic book store, we go in there, and keep in mind, at this point, it's like 8:45, right? It's like literally 15 minutes until 9, and this store closes at 9. So we only had 15 minutes to actually look around and like check it out. So after we walk in, we're just like looking around, nothing too crazy, just really looking at the comics and looking at all the stuff there, all the nerd shit. One of my friends in this group played Magic the Gathering, so he was in that section and playing that stuff. And while I was in one of the aisles by myself, looking at Marvel comics, I hear someone come up behind me and footsteps. And I just thought it was someone looking at stuff behind me or something. But then I hear a voice that sounds kind of familiar. And it says, can I help you find anything? And I turn around, and I am greeted to Jeremy. Yeah, he was there. I almost had a fucking heart attack, dude. And so did he. I could see it on his face, dude. He looked like in fucking shock when he saw me, the same way I did. And I looked at his shirt, and he worked there. He was a fucking employee at the comic book store. And I was like, no, I don't need any help. And he goes, Austin? And I was like, oh, Jeremy, I knew I recognized you. I tried to play it off like I didn't know who he was at first. And he's like, oh, how you been, man? And I was like, good. How about you? And he's like, I'm pretty good, just working here, you know, like, doing my thing. And we're just having, like, the most awkward small talk ever for, like, a minute or two. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Austin here. Do this. Like, if I get grounded, it'll be for so long since I'm already on thin ice with my mom, and, like, I won't have anything in my house that makes me happy. So I'll take it all away, and I'll keep sitting there on a little board and get fresh. And I just kept begging this teacher